Good morning, and welcome to your morning cereal.
Okay, good morning and welcome to Friday. Well, it's May 23rd, and if you're feeling that end of the week energy, you're not alone. It's probably due to the fact that we're all sugared up because today is National Taffy Day. And it's also World Turtle Day, so eat that taffy nice and slow and appreciate this journey we're all on. Of course, unless you're taking World Turtle Day a little too serious and you're racing a hare today for some reason, I don't know. Again, you do you. Well, let's go ahead and move forward and kick things off with a dose of motivation from one of my favorite rappers, Eminem. And Eminem said, quote, "You can make something of your life. It just depends on your drive," end quote. Now, that's a great reminder from Slim Shady that determination can turn dreams into reality. All right, let's take a look at today's news, facts, and birthdays, and they're from May 23rd. We're going to start back in 1934, and that's when the notorious criminals Bonnie and Clyde, they were ambushed and killed by police on this date in Louisiana. Then in 1980, on this date, the horror film The Shining, it was released into theaters. Now, I've read this book, and just reading the book creeped me out, so I haven't actually seen the movie yet. Then we're going to move all the way up to 1999, when on this date, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, it broke box office records during its opening weekend. And then lastly on this date in 2000, Eminem, he released his third studio album, the Marshall Mathers LP, and it was the fastest selling rap album of all time, and it earned a Grammy for the best rap album in 2001. Well, happy birthday to you. If today is your birthday, you share a birthday with comedian and host of The Price is Right, Drew Carey. He's 66 today. For some reason, it still doesn't feel right to say that Bob Barker isn't the host of The Price is Right. Moving on. Jewel, singer, songwriter known for hits like Who Will Save Your Soul? She turns 50 today. And then actress best known for her role on the TV series Dynasty, Joan Collins, she's 91 today. Well, the number one song on this date in 1993 was That's the Way Love Goes by Janet Jackson. And this, what we'll call sultry track, it marked a departure from her previous more upbeat dance-type hits, and it showcased a more mature sound out of Janet. Well, it earned her a Grammy for Best R&B Song, and it remains one of her most iconic songs. All right, now, while you're just sitting there sipping your coffee and deciding whether or not this Friday calls for ambition or maybe just survival, here are the top news stories as of yesterday's recording. First, NPR and the Wall Street Journal are reporting that the stock market volatility continues in early trading following the House's approval of the president's extensive tax and spending plan, which is projected to increase the federal deficit by $2.7 trillion over the next decade. I know the GOP doesn't like that, but this has led to investor concerns, and now the plan moves ahead to the Senate, where it will likely gain quite a bit more scrutiny. Secondarily, the AP and Barron's, they're reporting that April home numbers are in, and the existing home sales, they declined by 0.5 percentage point. Now, this is the slowest April pace since 2009, just after the housing crisis. And this downturn is attributed to persistently high mortgage rates. They're averaging about 6.81% right now, and home prices are remaining elevated too. The national median house price hit a record of $414,000 this year. That's up 1.8% year over year. And lastly, Reuters is reporting that a federal judge has blocked the president's plan to close the Department of Education, ruling the move unconstitutional. Shocker. And probably a bad idea. The court also ordered the immediate reinstatement of employees laid off during the March reduction in force, citing violations of due process and statutory protections, all part of a democracy. Well, now let's go ahead and wrap up this week with our morning cereal book segment. And we're still in habit 2, which is Begin with the End in Mind, from Stephen R. Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Today's focus, the foundational idea that, quote, all things are created twice. Now, we mentioned this just a couple days ago, but we're going to jump into it just a little bit more here. Now, according to Covey, everything is created twice, first mentally, then physically, right? We talked about that 2 days ago. Think about building a house. First, there's a blueprint, then the actual construction, right? That same principle applies to every part of life, from writing an email to raising a child to launching a business. The first step is the creation and having the vision of it, right? Then the second is the execution. And remember this as well? Covey said, quote, management is doing things right, while leadership is doing the right things, end quote. Now, most of us are good at the managing part, checking off tasks, right? Responding to emails, showing up on time. But how often do we stop to ask, quote, is this ladder that we keep talking about leaning against the right wall, end quote? That's the heart of the first creation, deciding what matters before doing what works. Now, one of the most powerful ideas in this section is that if we don't consistently design our lives, our careers, and our relationships, even our character, we'll end up living out someone else's script. We've said that a couple days in a row now. Covey warns us, quote, if we don't develop our own self-awareness and proactively create our own scripts, we empower other people and other circumstances to shape our lives by default, end quote. Covey challenges us to take control of that first creation through personal leadership, which involves defining our values. We've been talking about that, right? Defining our values and our principles, and then aligning those with our second creation, our daily behaviors with that vision, okay? Covey even draws a line from this habit back to remind us of habit one, be proactive. Proactive people recognize the power of the first creation. They use their imagination and conscience to visualize what they want and why, not just what's urgent. Okay, here's the takeaway. If you want to change your results, start by changing the design. Visualize what success actually looks like at work, at home, and in your character. And then act in a way that builds towards that blueprint. Because when you design with intention, the life you build is the one you actually want to live. All right, that is it for your Friday edition of Morning Cereal. So whether you're eating taffy, celebrating turtles, or just trying to survive one more Zoom call, remember, your life gets built twice, once in your head and once in the real world. Make both of them count. Hey, thanks for tuning in today. Enjoy the long holiday weekend, and we'll see you back here next Tuesday morning. Have a fantastic day. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Morning Cereal podcast on the One Life Live It channel. You can find more episodes and videos by visiting our YouTube channel and the website at Sean Inglis and at SeanInglis.com, where you can also follow our other podcasts, the Mr. and Mrs. Inglis podcast and the Life Happens podcast. In these other podcasts, we'll dive deeper into everyday issues, self-improvement and well-being, business and finance, and we welcome special guests too. So join us. It'll be a good time, I promise. Thanks again for listening. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow.